Hello, you are on the lifeboat. This is your captain speaking, Captain Calhoun. How is everybody today? This Thursday evening. Good evening, good evening. Sandy Wandy, awakened by the looking glass reflection. Going to be working on some stuff in the background tonight, so I'll just be listening. Love this boat. We love you too, Awakened. Body Illusion. Hey there. Blessed to Crochet. Nicola E. Zaphod Beeblebrox. Mr. President. Kristen Melinda. Casey. Howdy how, guys. Howdy how. Christian B. What is the dealio? Tara Smiling. Brittany Van Brakel. Sahuaro Christmas. Becca Jean. Brazy Girl. Hi there. What's going on, y'all? Scooby Lee, Rexican, Messler. Dig the new intro music. Yeah, I've been playing with a couple different ideas, trying to see what we're going to stick with. I don't know yet. It's still a toss-up. Duffster Rhymes. Piano Mom, how is everyone tonight? I'm doing well. I think I need some sleep, or I think I'm getting sick or something, though, because I'm just feeling all kinds of weird. Andy Paul, good to see you. Yeah, so today we're going to talk about life beyond your wildest dreams. And before we get all the way into it, the Admiral will be on this evening at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. And please hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications. If you like what we do here, it sure makes a difference for us. Charlie Mullins, my guy, good to see you. Good to see you. Sleep sounds so good. And I took a nap today. I got plenty of sleep last night. I feel like I'm getting sick or something. I changed my scenery. I did some exercise. I tried to shock my system. Please hold. I'm gonna be sweating big hailstorm sweat here in a sec if I don't turn that AC on. So, what was I talking about? I was talking about why I feel sick. Yeah, and my throat kind of still hurts. So, I think I must be getting sick. I do have some tea. Maybe that'll help. I'm hydrating. You know the drill. I'm doing the things. Spanx random question. Brittany Van Brakel. Have you heard of Sean Hayes or the Red Clay Strays? So those are my music recommendations for you. Well, I have not heard of either of them. I'm definitely going to check them out. Today's song of the day is American Cigarettes by Ben Queller. I was just listening to that. Fantastic little jig. Hey, Matrix Rabbit, good to see you. Hope you're feeling a little better. Dun, 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 dun. Losing my place. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully I feel better tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to talk about the fourth dimension, guys. We're going to talk about, we're all here for a similar reason, okay? We're all here to connect. We're all here to live a better life, right? We're all here to love more. In recovery, whether it's from trauma or addiction or whatever, what have you, we heal in many different dimensions. We can break this down further. And the first is the physical dimension. I'm going to kind of graze through this first bit because it's less important. I mean, I shouldn't say that. It's not the topic of the video, but it's equally important. The physical dimension deals with the physiological effects, such as detox, medical treatment, physical ailments, damage that you've done to your body, right? Depending on the situation, depending on if it's substance or trauma or whatever, the physical dimension is going to deal with physical aspects. Are you going to be detoxing off of a substance? Do you need medical treatment? What is the substance, right? If it's trauma or something of that nature, maybe the physical is less important, right? But I assure you that there are physical elements, regardless of if it's trauma or addiction based. The second dimension is mental. And this is going to deal with our cognitive processes. Everybody's going to have to deal with this one. I guess everyone's going to have to deal with all of them, but this one is very, very prevalent, right? Because all of us have done damage to ourselves mentally, or could improve our thought processes, right? Our thought patterns, our beliefs, our behaviors. The mental dimension, the second dimension here, is going to be dealing with understanding our thought patterns, examining our beliefs, our behaviors. And this also might involve therapy or counseling or, cognitive behavioral therapy training. I forget what the T stands for, often utilized here in this dimension. Izzy E, the seventh son. What's going on, y'all? How you doing, Brazy Girl? How is your day? Fourth dimension. I'm from there. Cosmic Christie. Hey, peeps. Can't stay. Gotta go exchange a winter jacket for my son before he moves out. I read that wrong. I was thinking, wait, you're trading a jacket for your son? Who's holding your son hostage and wants a winter jacket for him? But I totally understand what you're saying. Evening all from Cornwall. It's gone 1 a.m. here, so if I fall asleep, apologies. Wishing everyone that needs it health and healing. Well, thanks, Ellie J. I appreciate you. I sent the Admiral a link, told him I was feeling under the weather beforehand, and he did show up afterwards, and then like in the studio in the back here, and then he disappeared. I wonder what the deal is. Hope he's all right. I had Resin's channel in my clipboard, but I think I have since changed the clipboard. Let me see. I think I can do that. Or can I get one of my mods to post Resin's hyperlink, please? Lisa Trimble. I'm glad. Good to see you again, Lisa. I'm glad you've been lurking. I'm glad you've been here. Marion, what is the dealio? Good to see ya. Someone who really needs the jacket, said Christian V. Lol, that's funny. And the third dimension is going to be emotional. It's going to deal with processing and working through feelings, particularly associated with your trauma or addiction or what have you, whatever you're getting done with, right? We're talking about guilt, shame, anger, grief. These are all emotions that we're going to be dealing with as far as healing and recovery are concerned. I need to change that. And that gets us to the further dimension. Oh, and support groups. Dialectical behavioral training, mindfulness, and support groups are all things that we've talked about before that help with this. I'm just losing my mind here. This dimension. The fourth dimension, there is a further dimension, and this is the meat and potatoes, right? This is less understood than the other dimensions, and you will see why. But I think this is something we're just now coming to understand more. This encompasses the search for meaning, purpose, and connection. Now, purpose, meaning, and connection. Wait a second. Are these like the biggest questions of life, which the answer to is 42? We're talking about, we're kind of stepping into a theological realm here. This dimension, I think the reason it is less understood is because of the nature of it. These are topics that are polarizing. These are topics that many people believe many different things about and in many different ways. But for the boat's purposes, the fourth dimension is just going to be a deeper understanding, a higher power, if you will, finding meaning in nature, relationships, creative expression, connection with each other, as well as maybe something greater than ourselves, which could be the whole. It could be whatever you want it to be, right? But the fourth dimension for the purposes of the boat, we're just going to keep it simple like that, all right? Whatever it means to you. But the fourth dimension, and the reason I chose a tesseract for the thumbnail, is because that kind of awakened was way ahead of me there. I am struggling, folks. It's because that illustrates it pretty well. I think I need to blow my nose or something. Maybe I just need some of this. It's going to be a rough one. We're going to get through it. Need some jokes, seventh. You hear that, seventh? Just kidding. We all love your jokes, and I think I personally could definitely use a joke if you're up to it, seventh. Flotation device. Debbie P, Wharton Fissel, good to see you guys. Fourth dimension. Yeah, this is going to involve values, questions of identity, belonging, right? Like a potato, root veggie. Yeah, I do love me some tubers. Thank you, Tara. Dude, I don't feel very good, Matrix Rabbit. I'm like falling asleep. I keep yawning. I haven't yawned since I've been on the stream, but leading up to the stream, I couldn't stop yawning. I'm glad I'm not yawning now, but my brain is like struggling to move forward. I'm probably going to cut this one short, but we're going to get through our stuff. We're going to hang out for a bit, and then I'm going to go to bed, I think, or something. So, that's it. What's brown and sticky? A stick. Okay. So, in addressing all four dimensions, this is going to gear us up for long-term lasting recovery, right? In my opinion, all four of these dimensions are necessary. And in the big book, it talks about, which we don't talk about a ton here, but it talks about being rocketed into the fourth dimension when bringing the message to someone in need. And it's referring to someone who has some clean time, basically, sharing with a hopeless alcoholic or drunk or traumatized individual how they did it, right? Coming and sharing this gift of hope, basically. In layman's terms, that's what we are talking about here. In the book, it described that as being rocketed into the fourth dimension, and I've been thinking about that a lot last night and today. We've been doing a lot of talking about it, me and my little circle, and I think that the fourth dimension is love and connection. I think that the fourth dimension is, it's transcendent. It's such a hard topic to discuss. I had a big plans for this, and now I feel like I'm falling short, but this is also a topic we can revisit many times. The fourth dimension is what we're all shooting for. I've been feeling very fourth dimension-y lately. I've been feeling like I'm doing big things, like things that are bigger than myself. I've been feeling much less resistance and much more flow, and things seem to be falling into place. And I keep just trying to do the next right thing. And I think that that's the key. I was also reading a bunch of stuff today about this, and it talks about preparing oneself for this psychic shift into the fourth dimension, right? Whether or not you believe, it talks about processing and sweeping away the garbage, the wreckage, the refuse from our past lives, right? All the damage that we've done, all this processing and peeling of the onion that we're doing, right? All of these things are leading towards this awakening of sorts where things change. And I'm not saying that you don't have to fear. I don't know if that's the right way to say that either. I'm not trying to say that one day you're going to be cured and this isn't going to be difficult anymore. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that from the perspective that we're sitting, it's impossible to see and understand the beautiful life that awaits us if we just keep peeling the onion. I wish I had a more specific way to describe that, and it's so difficult to describe in, I guess, three-dimensional terms, right? But in doing what we're doing right now, in peeling the onion, in journaling, in connecting with each other, in living heart forward, in righting our past wrongs, we are headed towards the fourth dimension together, and we're helping each other to do that. I just thought this was a really intriguing concept that I would love to explore more. I'm starting to feel like sick to my stomach now. What the heck, guys? What the heck? Before the thing, I was like, maybe I'll start the show with Tink Time and that'll wake me up. I feel like that would be such a mistake. It might like make my stomach explode. I don't know, Don. I don't know. I am not on medication. And I haven't taken any ibuprofen today. That's my dad. And now he's texting me. I don't know. Maybe he's giving me good advice. Because I am about to get the heck out of here. Oh, there he is. Look at this guy.
What the hell's going on around here? Huh? You got toothaches? Is that what's going on? I'll tell you what, you're running yourself down, Calhoun. It's not your fault, right? It's not your fault. But it's when you start, the tooth is a really tough part of the body. When you start to get infections, you start getting anything that's going on up here, you're really starting to threaten a fairly dangerous part of your body. Feel me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Info Dump Truck, how are you? Good to see you. Crazy girl, what's happening? You know what, Captain?
What's
Why
that?
don't you go take some non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs and go to sleep?
Are you sure?
Yeah, like ibuprofen or something along those lines. I got nothing to do for the next bit. I can knock this thing out.
Well, I appreciate
Visit with
you.
some old friends. Haven't seen any of these people in a hot minute. Hello, Tara. Good to see you.
Would you prefer the full view or the reg view?
Doesn't matter to me, man.
All right, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much, Admiral. I love you guys.
I love you. More final. Right, Dad is 100% right. Not always. Not always. As often as not, I'm probably wrong. But not today, everybody. Kristen Melinda, good to see you. Info Dump Truck, glad you're here. Scooby, how are you, Scoob? Kristen B, awakened by the looking glass. Izzy, what's happening? Shauna B, Donna Gloves. Look, you guys are cooking. I love Spanx too. You know what? And he needs to, like, every once in a while, people, you know what? It's the nice thing is he doesn't have to bail, right? The nice thing is we can keep the show going for a little while. That's not such a bad thing, right? No, yeah, Sensational Cinema. Good to see you. How are you? Debbie P. Hey, Casey. You know what? I love my kid. Miss Dragon, good to see you. Sherry LeBron, good to see you. Been a few hours, has it? Sure. Blessed to Crochet, glad that you're here. Yes, right. Mouth infections is very intelligent. Go two ways, to the brain or to the heart, right? Ooh, I can't pull up comments. That's going to make me angry. That's all right, Del. We'll get through this. We'll get through this anyway. Your son texted you a few minutes ago and said he was sorry, but he left detox. Oh, Tammy, I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. It happens, though. You know what I'm saying? It does happen. Hold on one second here. Something just happened. Something unique just happened, but I don't know what it was. So I guess I'm host. You know what, people? So today I went downtown with Quibble. She had things that she had to go do, and I ended up knocking out a very cool place to go shopping. What do I think the fourth dimension is? You know something? I've heard a lot of people discuss the concept of the fourth dimension, and a lot of people have different takes. I did not hear what Spanx Calhoun was talking about. More often than not, though, it's referring to the basically what the hell we do here. Honestly, the part of what we do here that is unique is that we kind of want people to actually get involved, right? This isn't a passive game here. What we do is very active, and we ask people to do things. We ask people to get involved. Like, hey, man, maybe journaling might help you stay sober, right? And there's a lot of other things that we kind of hammer home, and we try to get people to get more active and involved. And the idea is we want people to start peeling that onion. And once you do, and you start having you start to interact with people on a level that is a whole lot different. And very often, peeling that onion, right, gets you to a place in life that is that's unique. Tammy says, "I'm trying to have faith in my higher power." I know that there are people who struggle with this. Yeah, peeling is a good thing. Hey, Bacon Bits Ben Turner, good to see you. Body Illusion, how are you? How are you? I'm getting used to the comments. They're a lot different here, people. They are a lot different here. Info Dump Truck says, I kicked my hoarding and my house is finally clean. Wow. Good for you, Info Dump Truck. How good is that? People, did you catch that? That's massive. That's massive. Congratulations. I couldn't be happier for you. I really couldn't. That's great. How cool is that? Resin comes from the 8th dimension. Okay. John, big boy. Okay. I am, yeah, it's good to see you. It's good to see all of you. Wow. Man, things are flying around. I'm still trying to, Wharton Thistle, kind of distracted daughter. I stayed away. Let me see if I can pull that up. Can I? Oh, I can. Kind of distracted daughter stayed away dealing with her dog dying. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. So tough to take a call from your crying girl. No question. There is so much space, says Info Dump Truck. Boy, you know what? When you stop the process of hoarding, it's really unbelievable what happens. My son is 100% awesome, Bacon Bits, in spite of me, not because of me. Make no mistake, people. In spite of me, not because of me. But Calhoun is a great kid. Sandy Wandy, good to see you. I like all of the 4th dimensions. I appreciate how they're all different. Yeah, well, everybody's got kind of a different take. Hey, Geoplanet Jane, good to see you. You know what's funny, people? I was going to be doing a late night show here. Well, let's just see how far we can take it, how deep into this puppy we can go. Yeah, 2 hours would be a long stretch. But, yeah, he's doing a fantastic job. And I'm really looking forward to I love this approach. Hold on one second. I love this approach. Taking charge of my sobriety has made me more aware of pre-lapse. Yep. It's kept me connected with amazing people and has helped me work through the shame. Journaling rocks. No question. Hello, Tampa B man. And I'll tell you something. There is absolutely no reason at all. There is absolutely no reason to feel shame, right, for the things that we did prior to seeing the light. You understand? This is a friggin' disease. Would you crap on somebody for not doing well with their insulin prior to getting diagnosed? And you know what I mean? It's the only disease that we crap on people for having. Right? Don't feel that. You're in the wrong place, right? We're not going to allow that here. I'm sorry, we're not. But you're just not allowed to feel guilty for your past here. I'm a bank robber. Right? You're not allowed to feel guilty for your past. The things that we do when we are under the influence, right? There's very little that we can do. You're not pulling yourself out of that. Sorry, you're not. Not while you're in the life. You got to get sober. It's a very difficult thing, and you can't beat yourself up. How do you center yourself? Need to figure that out for myself. Been lost lately, but I am turning a corner from the connections made here. Thank you for being Noah and building this boat. Oh man, that's a cool thing to say. It's a really cool thing to say. Well, you're welcome. I'm really happy to be here. How do I center myself? I'll tell you something. Number one, I shut everything else out. Right, and that's a difficult thing to do. It's a difficult thing to do because of the world we live in. We no longer live in a world where it's easy to just chill. It's easy to shut off the outside world. It doesn't work like that anymore. That's a bitch these days. It really is. I watched an early video where you talked about how you got the channel name. Just beautiful. Well, thanks. Back in the day, the meditation, exercise, good nutrition, time in nature centers me. See, this is beautiful. Tara says, meditation, exercise, good nutrition. Yep. Time in nature centers me. So does my therapist. Okay. Here's my suggestion. Number one, mind, body, and soul, right? All three of those need, if you're going to ground yourself, you're going to be grounding all of those. If you're not eating right, everything else is, you're wasting your friggin' time. Wharton Thistle says, I've been dry since July. Sure been tested lately. You Wages, the Lifeboaters, a group of others have given me a boost of gumption to keep going. Wharton, I love you, man. I love you, and I'm proud of you, man. For real. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Close. You watch how fast July rolls up on us. It'll be a year. Proud of you, man. Proud of you, and I hope you're proud of yourself. Real talk. Now, when grounding myself, I have to, if you're not eating well, if you're not eating, solid nutrition into your life, you're wasting your time. Nothing else works. I swear to God. It's like people go, I don't sleep well. Are you eating well? If you're not eating well, you're not going to sleep well. You're not. Just kind of works that way. You really do have to follow everything. Hey, Kelly, good to see you, Kelly B. You really have to follow all of those things. Ray, what's up? If you want that to work, you're going to have to start eating. You are. And exercise helps a hell of a lot when you're getting ready to go to sleep. Helps a hell of a lot. And the more exercise you can do, the better a chance you got of going to sleep. I am a vicious exerciser these days. I am. And for a lot of reasons. Tommy, I realize how bad nutrition is lately. You're so right. It's the truth, Info Dump Truck. If you are not taking care of that, you're done. You're really in deep trouble. You know what? Look, I get this. Beeblebrock says, if I didn't feel at least a little guilt from my past, I'm afraid of repeating my mistakes. A small amount of guilt keeps me on the right track. I understand that. I respect it as well. Here's what I did instead. What I did instead of the guilt was to remove the stigma, the guilt, all of that. But I'm in your face about it. I talk about my past to everybody, right? That's it. I talk about my past with everybody, and I am super open and honest about my past, more so, probably than most people would be comfortable doing, right? But the reason I'm so comfortable being open and honest is because I'm not going to beat myself up for what I've done in the past, but I sure as hell I'm going to use it in every way I can to help other people. Body Illusion says, I was telling a friend of mine I watch an ex-junkie Crim every day. What a look I got. I smiled and thought, that's funny as hell. You don't know, I love Tommy in the boat. I love that. I've heard other people say that. I worked with somebody. I'll tell you what they did. I won't tell you who they are, but I'll tell you what they did. I worked with somebody who's a banker, and he's not a teller. He works very high up in a bank, and he was going to lose his job, and they had sent him to a couple of pretty high dollar rehabs. I won't name the rehabs, but I bet you could guess because they're famous. But anyway, and he was not successful, but somebody invited him onto the boat. And when he was back at work and successful, and he had hit the 6-month mark, and he has to blow a breathalyzer. There's some things that he has to do. They're pretty serious for him to get his job back, but he's doing it and everything is working. And the guy said, what was it? You went to all of these programs. And that's what he told him. He said, yeah, and I've been watching this bank robber. Yeah. And he said, yeah, he got to say, he said, I wasn't even thinking about it when I said it. Yeah, there's this ex-con. He's a former bank robber. He used to rip people off and, dirtbag. Went through my my curriculum vitae, so to speak. And you do get that look. But he's back at work and he's killing it. It's not me. It's not Spanx. It won't be the next person. It's the idea. It's the fourth dimension. It's that which can't be. It's that which can't be explained. But it's the concept that brings really fantastic people together. Instead of watching cat videos or doing some of the other fun stuff that you could be doing online, it's coming here and talking about some heavy subjects, and sometimes talking about stuff that's not all that much fun. Christian B, good to see you. Wow, I love that. Christian B says, I told my social worker about you guys this morning, actually. He wrote down the YouTube channel in his notes. You know what's funny? The doctor that I used way back in the day at Quick MD, got us onto lists. So if you need to satisfy, like if they say depending on what state you're in, there are different rules, and in some of them you have to go to counseling. The boat is approved counseling for them, which is really cool because it saves people a bunch of money. And that's awesome. If you're getting yourself onto medical assisted treatment, you're not balling immaculate. You're usually not sitting on a pile of money, right? You're trying to rebuild. You're trying to get on your feet. Krista Melinda says the internet can be a very unhealthy place and actually a trigger. It's nice to have someplace healthy on the internet to go, like the boat. You know what? I agree with you. It's a really cool thing. I had a recent nicotine slip, says Izzy E, but I'm talking with my doctor now to get back on a low dose Wellbutrin. Yep, and nip this in the bud. I would have thought the worst of myself before the boat. Now I know better. Damn straight. Damn straight. That's a wildly addicting drug. That is a wildly addicting drug. If you have not been addicted to nicotine, well, God bless you. Don't take it up. It's a tough drug. We've talked about it on here a lot. The reason that it is so tough, hey, my friend, good to see you. One of the reasons that it is such a tough drug to quit is because it's going to double your dopamine level, right? Light up a cigarette, take a hit, dopamine times 2. Anything that's going to take your dopamine level and double it, it's going to make you feel fantastic, right? It's relaxing. It really is good at what it does. And the delivery system of taking that into your lungs is the fastest way you could ever get that into you. I don't care what anybody says. It's faster than a needle. So, yeah, it's hard. That's a hard drug to quit. Info Dump Truck says, took me 6 tries to quit smoking. Well, you know what? It took me like decades. And I vape now, but I do need to get off that too. The coming together of ripples into one giant body of kick-ass water cleansing, purging, dangerous, reflective, life-saving nourishment. I love it. You know what? I'm with you. It's a funny, you know what, Kristen Malone? Interesting question. Interesting question. I've had people say, if you found out that we had 3 days to live, right? If you had 3 days left on planet Earth, right? What would it change how you viewed your drug of choice? Hey, Nicola, good to see you. Would you look at it the same way? Huh? Would you go, screw it. What do I care if I get strung out on dope? Right? What difference does it make? I'm going to be dead in 4 days, right? I could get loaded. I could do whatever. Izzy said, I had years of no nicotine mileage. Couldn't take my ADHD meds for a few days and got right back on the cigar train. Yep. At least I'm not drinking, but staying accountable by saying it here. Good for you, Izzy. Straight up. Good for you. Accountability is awesome. And you're helping other people by doing it. Real talk. You're helping other people by doing it. If you don't, then you're perpetuating you're weak, right? You don't want to talk about it. You're weak. Yeah, BS. It's got nothing to do with that. God bless you for coming here and talking about it. It's as important for everyone else as it is for you. I mean that. Good stuff. Tampa B-Man says, my oldest daughter is starting a new job with neuro and explained to me exactly what you said about the dopamine receptors. Loved it. Cool. Your daughters are smart. Geoplanet Jane says, it took me getting pregnant to stop smoking. Oh, wow. It was so liberating. Yeah, it caused me to get very nauseating when I smoked. It was so liberating. Fantastic. And then you get your taste buds back, right? Yeah. Now, Becca Jean says, yep, if we're being real, I'd F it up hard, right? I'd go hard to the paint. If you found out there was 3 days left on the earth, yeah, no judgment at all. I get it. I'm not mad at anybody that says that, by the way. Nobody. That's legit. If you if you feel that that's what you do. Tara smiling. Nicotine has health benefits. There's no way around it. I'm sorry, there really is. There's a bunch of research to back that up. It's the delivery system that's an issue. It's not the drug itself. It's the delivery system and the amount that you do. In huge amounts, nicotine itself starts to work on your blood vessels. There's some things that it does, but because of how much the guy that wrote the Bulletproof Coffee Cat wrote quite a bit about this. Sandy Wendy says, quitting smoking was hard. Had to take several attempts before I was successful. I bet. And that's not something to be ashamed of. You feel me? It's not something to be ashamed of. I use this quick smart method that helped. Hold on one second. That helps, Kirsten Melinda. Honestly, if you're getting ready to make a huge life change and you're getting ready to move or do something else, quitting a habit at that time is not such a bad thing. It really isn't. Info Dump Truck says, I've quit drinking, smoking, hoarding, and video games. Now just have to quit weed for the second time and I'll be good. I'm moving soon, so I'm going to start fresh there. I love that. I think that's a great thing. There's really something, as humans, we're built that way. No joke. We're built that way. So if you're transitioning to a new place, your brain is already geared toward fresh start, doing stuff new. It's also a great opportunity to get your butt into every single other thing that you need to do in your life, right? To set up a good rhythm. Start journaling, start working out, start doing all of those things. You have a new life, a new place. Yeah, weed's tough. Weed was tough. Matrix Rabbit, I love this. I want to quit because it's bad for me and I want to be around to change my life and have a graceful third act. Do you love that? Tell me you don't love that. I want a graceful third act. I love that, Rabbit. I have been addicted to every substance you can think of at one time or another. Just got 2 left, nicotine and caffeine. I'll tell you what, if those are the only 2 left, God bless you. You're killing it. If those are the only 2 left, you're killing it. Ellie J, do you quit and change one thing at a time or do you just go for it? Now, here's the deal on that. And I've worked with a bunch of people. There are 2 different mindsets on this. I usually tell people not to try to quit cigarettes at the same time. You know what I mean? Cigarettes is a really tough drug. If it's going to be one of those things that you're going to try to quit everything at once, it's going to be rugged. Cigarettes are tough because of what it does to your dopamine levels. You know, it's like I said, it's dopamine times 2. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. If you're quitting a heavy drug or you're quitting drinking, it can be very difficult to try to quit them all at once. And very often it's like Jenga, right? You pull that one out, and if the one thing that's going to drop is cigarettes, it very often will lead to dominoes. Screw it, right? I already screwed up. I had a cigarette. I may as well start doing smack, right? As stupid as that sounds, that really does happen. Now, I'll tell you something. If I found out that the world had 3 days left, I wouldn't do dope. I wouldn't. Even if I found out there was 1 day left and there was no chance whatsoever that me using could get me addicted or anything else, I wouldn't do it. I want to ride this one out sober. I really do. It's I found amazingly, but I found that all of those years I thought I had my shit together, all of those years that I thought I was pretty slick, right? I wasn't. I wasn't at all. All those years that I thought I was pulling the wool over people's eyes, I wasn't. All of those years that I thought I was smart, that I thought I was making good decisions, I wasn't. I was an idiot. And if I'm going to face the apocalypse, I think I'd like to do it with a little bit of snap, right? Casey says, I would enjoy as much time as possible with my loved ones. Casey, I respect that. Check this out, Casey. To the watch enthusiasts out there, I found that today. That, people, is an Elgin from 1929. A very cool watch called a Legionnaire 421. And they're hard to find in good shape because of what they're made with. But I went into this shop today, and there it was for 15 years, I've been hunting down one of these, and I've had chances to buy them, and I just screwed it up, didn't pull the trigger. So I went in there today, and as I was getting ready to leave, the guy said, "Yeah, we're having 35% off all of the stuff in there." And I walked out. I went for a walk. I got about 100 yards down the street. I'm like, no, somebody's going to end up buying that thing. I'm going back to get it. Bacon Ben Turner says, Tommy, I got a question for you. What do you do when you can't figure something else to keep yourself from going into a negative mindset? That's a great question, right? That is a great question. Hold on one second. Brazy girl, good for you. Good for you, Brazy. I'm proud of you. That's awesome. It really is. Zodiac watches from the 1960s. It depends on which Zodiacs, right? And it depends on what the movement inside them is. There are some really desirable Zodiacs. To give you an idea, I sold a Zodiac triple date moon phase that was in perfect shape. I think it was $2,200 I got for it. So they make some really beautiful watches. Hold on one second. I got to get back here. Hold on. So here you go, Ben. When I find myself going into a negative mindset, and to be honest, this happens to me a lot. And the reason it happens to me a lot is because prior to this screw up recently with my brain, the cognitive decline was taking its toll, and I was struggling anyway, because when I get frustrated because I can't remember things, I want to start gritting my teeth. I want to start, clenching my fists, and that starts to take you in a negative place. I find these days that walking around, if I sit down, Ben, I'm in trouble. When I start feeling any kind of stress whatsoever, I get up and I start walking. And Quibble's great, right? It took her a very short period of time to realize that I'm different, but that, like, if I get up and start walking, it's because I'm stressed out. But if you communicate with the people around you, if you go, look, you know what? There are times where I start feeling so uncomfortable in my own skin. I'm going to have to leave the room I'm in, right? I'm going to have to leave the room I'm in. I'm going to have to do something so that I can feel normal, right? That's essential. That's what's got to happen. But when you're the best weapon you've got in changing your mind, right? In shifting your mind from where it is to someplace else, the best weapon that you've got are your senses, right? What you look at, what you smell, what you hear, what you taste, all of that's massive. Make no mistake. All of that is massive. Why, thank you. And if you can engage your senses into looking at different things, hearing different things, I cannot tell you what a life-changing adventure it was to leave prison. Because once I got out of prison, I had the ability to step outside, right? I had the ability to step outside and walk around, right? I couldn't do that in the joint. Changing my view, there was only a couple of views. I could step outside my cell and look at 4 other different walls, right? But there really was no changing your environment. Now, I get up, I walk outside, and first thing that you hear is a bird, right? You hear a bird off in the distance, and it's doing the chirping thing. It's the first thing you hear. And then you start to look for it. And as you look, your eyes catch a million other things. Literally, there's so much to look at outside. It's hard for your brain to process all that crap, right? All of this new stimuli that it's looking at once, looking at all that, hearing all that, smelling all that, all of this getting bombarded into your dome. This is not really a whole lot of time to concentrate on anything else. And this has been beautiful for me. Life-changing. I mean, absolutely friggin' life-changing. Having the ability to just get outside, walk around, and feel different has really been a beautiful thing for me. And I would recommend using the tools that nature or God or whatever you believe gave you. And our senses are the greatest tools that we've got for changing. If you need to change your mindset's going in a direction you don't want, ants are kicking the hell out of you, automatic negative thoughts are beating on you, whatever the case may be. If you need to good shift from where your dome is now to where you want to move it, your best bet is going to be to engage your senses. Feel me? Tampa B, it's not easy, is it? Tampa B was not a smoker, but a vapor. And you know what? Vaping is absolutely harm reduction, but it's still nicotine, right? Make no mistake, it's nicotine, but it's harm reduction. But when it comes time to quit, it's not going to be easier to quit that, I promise. Although you can at least taper down. Just started my healthy eating and exercise journey. As my already took a hit getting sober, you'll hear me talk about what I have cooking during the lifeboat. You'll feel better, I recommend. Nice. I'm all about people get out there, move around, right? Move around. Start taking a little time to walk, to get up, to move. I'm telling you, people, it'll change. Yeah, great, Ben. You want to change your psychology, start changing your physiology. It's the other great piece of advice I would give you, right? If you sit and your shoulders slump forward, right, and you start to roll your body forward, you shrink the size, right, of your thoracic cavity. All this shrinks. And what you're doing is you're forcing the organs together. Now you're not filling up your lungs the way you're supposed to. You're not doing any friggin' thing the way you're supposed to. You stand, like when your parents would say, stand up tall, roll your shoulders back. I want to tell you something. That does a lot more than make you look good. It does a lot more than make you look good. It stretches out, right? So that when you breathe, you can actually get air into every part of your lungs, the 3 sections of lungs, right? Your abdominal area, right? And then your chest, and then your clavicular lobes up here underneath, right? A real exchange of the air that's inside your lungs for some fresh, clean stuff. That's huge. That's huge. And when you roll your shoulders back, right? And what it does, you're changing your physiology will change your psychology. You will start to feel different, I promise you. Kristen Melinda says, I need this posture reminder every few months at minimum for real. It's easy to forget and start shrinking. And you will not feel as well if you start shrinking. I promise. Izzy, you know what? For some people, I've heard other people say that, yeah, Shannon, learning to breathe. I know it's crazy, right? But it really is a big deal. It is absolutely connected to your emotions. If you know that whole fake it till you make it thing, I've never been a fan of that, but live as if. I've been a fan of that. And if you walk into a room as if you're a winner, you're going to feel like a winner. If you walk into a room with your shoulders forward and your head looking down, you look like you're beat. That's exactly how you're going to feel too, I promise. Power stances are a real thing, Info Dump Truck says. Make no mistake. One of the best things that ever happened to me as a public speaker is you had to go out and stand up tall. You had to roll your shoulders back. Your posture had to be good. And you had to take deep breaths because everything you did was enunciate. In spite of the fact that I sit in front of a microphone, I'm usually projecting because that's just how I do what I do. Feel me? Becca says, I broke my cane. Got a friend here from Ireland going to carve me a new one. I gave him a stick. In the meantime, I've been challenging myself with the pepper spray. Ooh, well, that will do it. Tara says, I agree. Fake it till you make it is bogus. Just be it. Well, look, fake it till you make it. Here's the deal, right? We faked it our entire lives. That's how we got here, right? We've been faking it our whole lives. That's how we got here. So I got a better idea. Let's not do that. But live as if you're a winner. Right? Live as if you are exactly what you want to be. Live as if. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Because I'm not, you can definitely, hey, Chicken Cherry Cola, good to see you. It's more than just living as if. You can still set lofty goals, right? You can still be looking to the future in a big way, right? But instead of it being a pipe dream or something fake, it's basically you convincing your mind exactly what's going on. And I'll tell you something, there's truth to this. There really is. And there's science to back it up. If you've ever seen a skier, right, an Olympic skier at the top of a trail before they go down, they're doing this number, right? They're working through the entire run. They're going through all of it. They got their eyes shut and they're in they're in their tuck and they're doing every single bit of it on the way down. And they do that so often. And all athletes do this. You envision, right? You are literally visualizing, right, what you're going to be doing. Your brain can't tell the difference between a memory and a visualization. True story. This is why all the great athletes do this. You're putting, Shannon Smith says in the zone, and it's exactly what's happening. By the time you start that race, you're not doing that race for the first time. It's a memory. You're literally going back to something that you've done in your head 1,000 times, right? You know this course. You've done it in your head. Even when you're not racing, you're up there at the top and you're, right? It's all you do. And it is in the zone, to be sure. But it's living as if. It's the exact same concept for us. Going out there and being sober people and being successful people, being happy people, being I'm going to change my life people. Live as if. It's the exact same thing, right? Live as if. All right, Tara, good to see you. Thank you. All right, peeps. It's about that time of the day, and that means that I'm going to nice. I'm going to call this a day. I'm going to be back, however, to do my show here on the boat in an hour and a half, right? So I expect to see every one of you back here in an hour and a half. And bring your friends. We're going to be having fun. All right. I am the Admiral, Tommy Scoville. I will see all of you on the next one. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I hope I can leave this stream. I don't know what I'm doing. This is the Spanx Calhoun stream. Tampa B, good to see you. Proud of you. I'm proud of all of you, for real. All right. And great to hang out with you. Thank you, everybody. I will see you shortly. Hopefully, we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.